Welcome to another in the short video series from RogenSi. Today we're looking at the return on investment model, a tool that we believe can help leaders and managers get the most out of every interaction they have with their people. And to do this, we're going to look at two principal concepts. The first concept is performance and the second is potential. Two quite different things. So firstly, how do you measure performance? Well, to measure it, it's people who are meeting or exceeding their KPIs, and those people in your business who model the values of the organization. So to be a performer, you need to be meeting and exceeding your KPIs and modeling the values. The other factor we're looking at today is potential. So this is something slightly more esoteric. Three factors though to keep in mind when you are measuring potential. The first is the learning focus of the person that you've got. The second is their coachability. And third, their level of personal ambition. So you take those two factors, performance and potential, and you can place them into what we call a decision grid. Now, decision grid is a tool that's really fantastic for leaders to be able to make decisions faster and then execute on them with greater ease for greater impact. So this decision grid looks at performance and potential. So the first area we'll have a look at is those people who have high potential but are not yet performing. For this area, we call the strategy that you need to coach them investing. Investing all sorts of things: your time, your energy, and your resources. The second area we'll be looking at today is those people with high potential and high performance. For that, the coaching strategy that works for them is to challenge them, to stretch them, to really test them, to really get them to shoot for the stars. The third area we'll look at is maintain. That's the strategy for people who have high performance but whose potential has started to come off. And the last area we'll look at is those people who need a change, where their performance and their potential is not where it needs to be in the role they have at this point in time in your organization. So let's have a look at each of those strategies in a little bit more detail. What we really want to help you with is what would you look for in someone who's in your invest area. So just as a reminder, first thing you're going to look for is that their potential is high but their performance is low. Typically that means they're probably new to the role that they've got, but what you'll see them is being very keen to learn, eager to find new opportunities. They're good at taking feedback and they apply what they learn. This is the invest group, and we'll give you a strategy for coaching them in the next part of this module. Second area we said we'd have a look at is challenge. So as a reminder, this is where both potential and performance is high. So here's a few things to look for in your people who need the challenge coaching strategy. First thing is they're starting to master their role. They're getting pretty good at it. They can get their work done much faster or much better than other people in the same role. So they're performing pretty well. They like to be stretched, they enjoy a challenge, and they like to innovate. They're already starting to come up with new and different ways to do the role. So that's what to look for in your challenge. The next is the coaching strategy we call maintain. So as a reminder, that's for people who have high performance but whose potential has started to come off a bit. You'll note that they're probably the most experienced people in your team. They're solid performers, year in, year out, able to both hit their KPIs and honour the values of your organisation. They're nicely settled in their role, they enjoy themselves, but they might be a little less open to change, a little more resistant to the big shifts that might be happening in your organisation. That's the people for whom the maintain strategy will work best, but that's what to look for. Final area is change. That's where neither performance nor potential is where it needs to be. These people aren't meeting their KPIs or they're not modeling the values. They might be struggling with feedback and unable to apply what they're learning. Generally what we're seeing here is this is not a happy place for people to be. Quite possible that they're in the wrong role. That's what to look for. So there are 4 zones. So as a reminder, when we've got high potential but low performance, the coaching strategy is to invest. When we've got high performance and high potential, the coaching strategy is to challenge. When we've got performance high but potential has come off a bit, the maintain coaching strategies for that group. And finally, when performance and potential is low, it's time for a change. Now, it might be a change for the person. It could also be time for the coach or the leader to make a change. So that's the ROI model simply wrapped up in a very short amount of time. So I hope you've gathered the basics from us, and then you can move on to the next module that looks at what some of the coaching strategies might be, and we also have how you should shape your team, and you'll find that in the very next video in this series.